वो 1 2 का पता नहीं चलता कौन
First of all, because as you know that we're going to start this course inshallah, which is supposedly to be 6 classes, and this is a kind of basic course for Tajweed. Based on this course inshallah, we are going to expose you to the basics of Tajweed and to understand the main rules which inshallah would be beneficial for you to recite the Qur'an properly. But I want to start with some points regarding how that we're going to manage the class, because I think that the number mashallah is comparatively, or compared to what we have done before, it is quite a number now. So first of all, we want to understand that whenever we are talking about Tajweed, we need to talk about 2 different parts. The first one is the theoretical part, and the second one is the practical part. Okay? What we are going to take in this class is the theoretical part, and we are going as much as we can. We are going to deal with the practical part because of the number. Because remember again, whenever you want to master the recitation of the Quran, you need to sit to a shaykh, okay, or to someone that is fluent in recitation of the Quran, 1-to-1, okay, so that he can rectify your pronunciation and whatever that you are going to make, or the mistakes that you are going to fall into. So this is to know what is the scope of this course, theoretical part, and as much as we can, inshallah, the practical part. I'm going to start with the Tajweed rulings and going through it, and then we're going to allow for questions from your part. It will be inshallah like 3 questions as we have discussed with the people here. That is, 3 questions will be one, for example, from most of the people are Pakistani here, right? So who is not Pakistani here? Other than Maher, Abdul Razir, and okay, Ayuda? No, all the people. Okay? It's Pakistani dominant class. Okay. So in this case, we are going to have 3 questions, inshallah. 1 question from you, I mean from Pakistanis in general. 1 question from the international students who are the minority, and 1 question from our sisters. Okay. So this would be fair kind of session, inshallah. This is number 1. Number 2, we need to think about what is the aim of this class. What is the aim of this class? Remember well that the aim of this class, first to know how to recite the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is something that is considered to be an obligation upon us. I'm going to talk about the fiqh issues regarding this particular issue, regarding recitation of the Quran, whether it's obligation or recommended or mandatory, compulsory, whatever. We are going to talk about it inshallah in detail. But I want you to know that this class is giving to you a kind of the first step. You are going to put the first step. And after that, inshallah, who wants to get or to excel in it, then I'm here. And if you want any kind of time, inshallah, I will provide it to you as long as you're serious and you want to know more about the Quran. So this is actually my pleasure. So do not think that the time here in this class will be limited to 1 hour only. No, you can actually here, in order to make it professional as much we can, we're going to respect the 1 hour limit. But whenever you want any kind of questions, you can come to me. Okay, I'm going to give to you my office and the time at the masjid, inshallah, that whosoever wants to increase his knowledge or to practice more, inshallah, I will be here for you. Okay. So this is regarding this part. Let's go, inshallah, toward the main issue, which is related to the main topics of Tajweed. For today, inshallah, we're going to hear, this is the notes that you have with you. So I'm going to talk about just introduction. And in the introduction, you will find a couple of pages, 3 pages in the notes. So I'm going to, inshallah, explain it. So I'm going to explain it in brief so that I want you to be attentive as much as you can. two things that you need to think about regarding attending any class, not only Tajweed class, okay? Whenever you are attending any class in your major, okay? Two things are much more important than any other things. Number one, to be attentive in the class. I mean that your mind would be here, okay? Do not think about things else, other things, okay? This is number one. And try to focus on what I'm saying. Sometimes I'm going to ask questions and I'm waiting for you to answer me. Sometimes I'm going to make some mistakes, I'm waiting for you to rectify me, okay? And sometimes I want you to be like guessing what is the missing part or the missed part here, okay? So we try as much as we can to make it an interesting class for all of us, okay? This is number one. Number two is to study what you have listened to today in the same day, okay? Tonight, for example, and next Friday or before the next class, okay? Because most of the people, they are studying well, or they can understand it easily, especially for the Tajweed. The theoretical part is easy to be understood, okay? The point is how to make the practicing at home. So whenever we say some ruling here, you have to go back at home, practice it as much as you can, and then before the next class, try to practice and review what we have said from the rulings, okay? Most of the people that is usually attend the class, they are good during the class, but whenever you ask them after 2, 3, 4 months, for example, about the rulings, they cannot say to you. They say, yes, I know something like this, or I can give to you something similar to this. So this is most of the people, they are falling into this mistake. They do not study in order to know and implement. So you are going, subconsciously, you are going to forget what you have studied, okay? So remember that very well. Try to be attentive and study 2 times. One time on this night and the other time before the next class. Okay. Let's go inshallah through the introduction. I'm going to give some points so you can write some notes, and you'll find these notes that I'm going to give to you in the notes, on the written notes. Okay? You can read it instead of reading it in detail because it's a bit long here. These are the things, what is Tajweed, history of Tajweed, and so on. First of all, looking to what is the meaning of Tajweed. First, Tajweed means that, as Ibn al-Jazari said, Ibn al-Jazari is one of the scholars considered to be a pioneer in this regard, regarding the Tajweed. And he is giving a great, or actually he provided a great deal of information regarding this. And as you know that the people who in the righteous predecessor or in the past time, they used to put everything in poems. Okay, so this is something that it was easy for them to remember, putting everything in poems, and then after that they can recall it very easily. And actually, this is something that we are missing nowadays in our contemporary or modern way of studying. We are victims of the details. Victims of the details. Whenever you go, you take the book from the library, for example, you'll find the book is very detailed. Where is the important things and where is the less important, where the points that you might read or might not read, it's not clear. It's 1,000 pages and you go through it. This was not the way of our righteous predecessors. They were not like this. They used to have, we call it the essence of whatever the ilm is, and put it in poems. Very short, intensive, to the point kind of sentences that it would remind you always with the most important part of this ilm. So their ilm always in their minds. Now our ilm always in our textbooks, right? So this is something that I want you to relate whenever you think about Tajweed. Another thing which is important also regarding the Tajweed is this Tajweed, this ilm, actually it was not in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I mean that Rasulullah didn't gather the companions and sit together and said that I'm going to give to you today a kind of lesson in Tajweed. No, this hasn't happened before. Because the Tajweed, based on what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam received from Jibreel alayhi salam, it was based on the classical Arabic from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The tongue was given, or the dialect that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has passed it down to Jibreel, and Jibreel has passed it down to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, was the classical Arabic, okay, which including the way of Tajweed in itself, okay. The problem of Tajweed came later, came after the companions' time, because most of the Arabs, they were very experts in using the Arabic words in general. What happened that when Islam was spreading, non-Arabs, they get into the Islamic state. And non-Arab means that they are not familiar with the Arabic tongue. So it mixed. You will find that many people, they are not aware of the Arabic words. Then it has been mixed, the Arabic and non-Arabic kind of dialects. So the scholars, they realize that there is something wrong here, and we have to get into, or at least to bring one kind of rule or one kind of book or a ilm or something like this to the people, to make it as a reference. From here started the ilm al-Tajweed. This is why some people, they said that Tajweed is not ilm, it's not a science, because they said that Sahaba didn't have this kind of ilm or knowledge. But actually for us it's mandatory. It's something that is we should go, or we should study in order to rectify our time. Okay? Okay. So this is regarding this issue. Fadl al-Qur'an, you can write these notes if you want. Okay? Fadl al-Qur'an, which is the virtues of Qur'an in general. Whenever you are reciting the Qur'an, or whenever that you are going to learn Qur'an, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that al-mahir bil-Qur'an ma'a as-safarat al-kiram al-barara. That person who is expert and proficient in reciting the Qur'an with as-safara al-kiram al-barara, with the noble emissaries, which are like the ambassadors. They are the angels. The noble emissaries are the angels. They are, in their status, those who are reciting the Qur'an perfectly. They are in their status, in the eyesight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are like the angels. Okay? الماهر بالقرآن مع السفرة الكرام البرر. والذي يقرأ القرآن وهو عليه شاق فله أجران. And that person who is reciting the Qur'an, and it's very difficult for him to recite the Qur'an, he is going to be with, he is going to have double reward. Double reward means that he is going to have, for example, if a person that he is mahir, he is an expert in the Qur'an, he's going to find that he will get like 10 hasanat, for example. The other person, I think that most of the people, especially non-Arabs, they are from this category. They are finding that recitation of the Qur'an is difficult. And actually, if you are going to recite the Qur'an and learn Qur'an, you are going to have this double reward. So do not miss this opportunity. Do not miss this kind of opportunity. Okay. So this is Fadl al-Qur'an. The other thing, or the other point, which is أهمية تعلم al-Qur'an, the importance of learning the Qur'an. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned in a hadith that is narrated in Bukhari and Muslim, that is خيركم من تعلم القرآن وعلمه. The best amongst you are those who are learning Qur'an and teaching it. Okay? These are the best people. Why? Because as we said always, whenever you are looking to things based on their nobility, for example, you are going to find that Qur'an in the highest level or the highest status. You are linking yourself with the Qur'an. Okay? If you are learning or teaching Qur'an, you are linking yourself with the Qur'an. Then your status by default is going to be elevated. Okay? Remember that well. And this is whom is saying that, or who is saying that? This is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. خيركم. This is the best amongst you. Okay? This is the sharaf. We call it يعني أشرف العلوم. في اللغة العربية we call it أشرف العلوم. It's the most honorable kind of ulum, or of knowledge that we could attain. Okay? So this is why do not mix between whatever you are taking in the university and whatever the ashraf al-ulum or the noblest or the most honorable kind of knowledge. Okay? This is for dunya and this is for deen. Okay? And remember well that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving to us some priorities. So do not miss or do not get confused between which is really important for you. For you, you need to learn this kind of ilm. Why? Because in the salah, for example, if you are not going to recite al-Fatiha correctly, then your salah, according to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, من لم يقرأ بأم الكتاب فصلاته خداج غير تمام. That person who is not going to recite with the Fatiha, means that the Fatiha or al-Kitab, his salah is khidaj. Khidaj means that it is defective. غير تمام, it is not perfect. Okay? So be careful about this and put kind of concern regarding this issue. That you need to learn in order to know at least how to recite the Qur'an during the salah, which is an obligation upon you. Okay? If we said to you that you are going to a foreign country, and at least you need to know like 10 sentences. That's how to deal with the country language and the language of the people there and so on. You are going to study and learn and memorize and so on. And this is al-Fatiha, which is something that is we are reciting it on a daily basis, countless time in our lifespan, right? So take care of this. Give the due importance for such kind of thing and do not neglect it. Okay. Another point regarding أهمية تعلم القرآن إن لله أهلين من الناس فقيل من أهل الله فيهم قال أهل الله هم أهل القرآن هم أهل الله وخاصته. Another hadith that is narrated by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has special people to him. Those people are the people of the Qur'an, whether they are learning or teaching or memorizing or studying or whatever. Those people are the special people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay. Let's go inshallah to the next point, which is so now what I have said is you can find it in these 3 points, which is what is Tajweed, history of Tajweed, the purpose of Tajweed. Okay? I'm going to talk about this inshallah. Okay, let's go to the etiquettes of recitation of the Qur'an. Etiquettes of recitation of the Qur'an. We have 2 types of etiquettes. The first one is ma'nawi and the second one is hissi. Ma'nawi means that abstract one, non-tangible. And the other one is tangible one, which is the etiquette of dealing with the Qur'an as an object itself. So let's go with the abstract one, which is the non-tangible one. First of all, whenever I'm going to give some points, because there are like 10 points, I'm not going to give all of them. Just I'm going to give the most important ones of them. So first of all, adab qira'at al-Quran, the etiquettes of qira'at al-Quran, which is a spiritual or non-tangible or abstract one. First of all, al-ikhlas. Ikhlas means that to have sincere niyyah, intention in your heart toward this. Okay? This is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some people, they are learning and teaching Quran for showing off. For dunya. And those people are going to be in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment, and they are going to have this conversation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that I have recited Quran, I have learned Quran, I have taught the Quran. But actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would reply to him and said, yes, you have done this in order to be said in dunya, qari, to say that you are a reciter of the Quran, or a memorizer of the Quran, or hafid of the Quran. Okay? Some people, they want this kind of status, dunya status. Okay? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not accept this. Okay? So number 1, al-ikhlas. Number 2, humbleness, which is al-khushu'. Try to think whenever that you open the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this has been revealed by Allah to Jibreel, and from Jibreel alayhi salam to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Whenever we say alif, lam, mim, whenever we say bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, these kind of words, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said it. And these kind of words, Jibreel alayhi salam has said it. And these kinds of words, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by Himself, He said it.